Why, hello there, Spartans and Athenians alike. Shams Nelson here from Fantastic Anatomy, and in this series, which I think I want to call Sketch-O-Rama, but I might go for the more conservative title of like sketching practice. But anyways, I'm just gonna like draw the kind of things that I've been drawing in my sketchbook, and and hopefully it'll be helpful. So I've been liking to draw these kind of figures, and I just draw lots of these, and I try not to erase. Like, this guy's head's too big, and it's gonna bother me the whole time. But I'm not gonna erase because in my sketchbook I usually um, do it in pen, so I can't erase. So I did the head first, and that's not something I usually do, and I can see why now. It's hard to get the head to be the right shape. Well, that's what I find. I don't know if other people might start with the head or what the deal is, but I like to put the head on last, or at least after this point. So now the arms are the head, whichever one. So let's make the head looking over this way. So I'm gonna put like the neck of the spine, and the spine thing, it always goes like right into this round, the middle of the round part. So that shows like if he's turning his head. This took me a while to get. This face is going to be more on this side because of that. Like, I would usually center it, and then it would look really weird, and I'm like, why does it look so crazy? Of course, we're joined in the studio, as usual, by Mr. Muffin Blueberry. This guy can be carrying, like, a torch. It is actually kind of realistic, because when people put a torch out, there's this guy, Beige. If you like medieval stuff, you should check out his channel. Um, but yeah, if you put a torch in front of you, you're gonna, at night, all you're gonna see is the firelight. It's gonna blind you to everything else, which isn't very helpful. So you should put it behind your head and look out into this distance. But there's a lot of other misconceptions and stuff about torches, which I forget, so I'm not gonna go into it. But you can check out his video on there. It's Beige, LINDYBEIGE. So for this kind of exercise, I just like draw really randomly. Like, I'm not thinking of what the pose is gonna be before I start or anything like that. And I'll start with different stuff. So I might start with a gesture line, or I might start with a shape for like, okay, let's start with the hips this time. So what if I want to make the hips like this? Then let's make the spine like that. And I'll use different shapes. Like, sometimes I'll use circles. Here I use the square for the upper body. And just see, like, okay, now let's attach a leg that goes off like this. And then we'll have it bend. And then this leg. So I could have it going up like that, or I could have it going back. Let's have it going back. Okay, this is weird. And I think I learn a lot just from doing these, and also just makes me much more comfortable in drawing a figure, so that when I'm like, okay, let me draw this figure, I already feel comfortable about drawing a figure in general, so it takes that like fear away or whatever, and then I'm like, alright, now I have to draw this figure, which is a daunting task in itself. But okay, so here this torso is too long, so I'm thinking, alright, well, if I do something else, let me make the pelvis and the thing closer. So that still seems a little too long. Let's do that. And then I stick to some basic shapes and some basic ideas that I repeat a lot. So let me see if I can isolate them for you guys here. So the idea of the pelvis and upper body being like the two main parts. I think I think that makes sense to start with that, and I like to do that. But also, you can start with the legs sometimes, I've noticed. Well, I feel like you're not really starting with your legs. You're putting the legs in there, but like it's like the pelvis and the body that's still the core. Anyway, see, that's too long again, so let's cut that off. I'm not going to erase because I said I wouldn't. So whatever. Okay, the legs. Here's a big tip about the legs that when I discover, and I think it works for the arms a little bit too, but I'm not sure. So the legs have this S-shaped curve, and I'm sure heard that before. And so let's do a regular person standing like the one up there. So when you get to the legs, you know, you have some kind of pelvis area, however you do it. And then I think I like to put the thighs in first. So I'll put the thighs like that and like that. And then I'll put this S right here. Boom, boom. And then you just pretty much add that calf muscle and thicken that line. And you've got what feel like decently solid legs. And can it work with the arms? I always know it's not like that. So, oh yeah, that's what it was. It seems like it can work if you go like this and like that. Bicep. I mean, that's exaggerated, but you see, it still has that kind of flow. So let's see, maybe it would be like that and like this. Wait, 1, 2. I think so. So did that work? I'm not sure. Well, that arm's too long in general, but anyways, something to experiment with. Sometimes things work in one view and on the other. It makes sense that it would work because the arms and legs are like very similar, but they're backwards. Like even this, like the hamstrings are the biceps, the quadriceps are the triceps, the whatever. Anyways, you get the point. But you see, like if the arm was here, if you had your leg. So let's see something. Let's start with a leg and see what happens. If this was your leg, here'd be your little bicep. See what I'm saying? That was the arm. Anyways, whatever. So let's go like that. And then, so let's imagine this going through here. Maybe it would come out there. This is going to be a weird one. I'm not sure if I'm looking down. No, maybe reaching forward. The arms crossing the body. That's another thing to practice. And this arm maybe going back like that. Kind of weird and interesting. Sometimes I like to do, it's kind of nice to warm up like this and then get into that. So like, just do the figure like something like this. And then, you know, legs can just be like, you know what I'm saying? Very simple, I have this video on 4 ways to do gesture, I think, and I like to do martial arts poses because they're interesting. And yeah, so this is one of like the types of gesture kind of thing that I talk about. That, just something simple like that. And sometimes you can do like, okay, let's put the body in. I'm going to do a little more in 3D, so let's have that be the thing. And let's have the pelvis twisting. What can I make the pelvis, see how it's pointing this way? This is the front and this is the front of that. So can we get this twist working? And then for the arms, let's do weird little hands. We can mix it up between the two. I usually don't, but let's see what happens. Sometimes I'll put the hands first and then figure out how the arms would attach. I don't really do that with the feet. I'm not sure if that would work. If you guys try it, let me know. Maybe I'll try that later tonight. Interesting. Okay. No, see, this is way too long. It's something that I see when you do a lot of these. You also notice what you tend to do. So let's actually do that one again, but I'll try it a little differently. So let's try this a little closer like that. Is that close enough? And then these two should have, that's another thing to practice, contrapposto. And let's see here. Whatever. Alright. Contrapposto, so I might do the shoulders and the hips, and then just connect it like that. And then you've already got the full body. You can put the waist area there. And then let's go, what if he's like running? or I guess leaping for joy. So I don't want it to run into that. So let's try to see. That's like something that, okay, so this thing gets interesting when you start to run out of space. So let me do some more quickly so I can try to run out of space a little faster. Oh, I haven't done any from the back either. And that's the other thing. You'll notice which, when you're just kind of doing them without thinking too much, like just sketching whatever comes to mind, you'll notice which poses you prefer and are more comfortable and stronger at, and which ones you don't. So I'm more of a front view kind of guy, evidently. So it'd be good to practice the back view. So let's squeeze one in here. So like here, okay, let's use this example. So then when I run out of space, I start to squeeze them in. See, I was going to put both hands going up, and then I was like, oh, I don't have space, so let's have him grabbing his arm like that. And then this leg has to go like that, and then this one could cross over like this. So like that's a weird pose that I would never have drawn if I wasn't trying to fill this little space. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, sitting. Okay, this is a cool thing I like to do, sitting. Check it out. I drew like a piece of paper right there. And I'm going to put 1 foot here and 1 foot here. And that's how I'm going to connect the legs. And that's the best way I figured out for myself, at least, to get the figure looking like he's actually sitting in space and getting the perspective right on that sitting. So, oh yeah, here's another one. Sometimes you get these kind of spaces. So here we've got someone like, whatcha? And then some of these are like, now this is actually kind of a familiar pose for me. I'm not saying that I mastered it, something's up with that leg, but at least like some of these poses are getting more familiar. So if I needed to draw someone doing something like that, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, it feels comfortable. Let's do some like, okay, what about a superhero taking off? So we gotta have the big chest. We're gonna take off karate style. Oh, but he doesn't, there's not enough room to have his arm out, so what if he, alright, this is very strange, I suppose. And then this leg comes out, comes in. Maybe something like that. Okay, so yeah, we talked about, so this should probably bend in like that. Oh well, I'm not gonna erase. I was about to. I almost broke my rule. Okay, so what other cool things could I think of? So I guess let's talk about all the basic shapes. I should have done this at the beginning, but these sketching ones are gonna be very impromptu. So we've got the upper body, the lower body shape, and then I like to use 2 circles for the shoulders. And I guess here you're not trying to get like obviously, or I'm not trying to get like perfect proportions like or anything like, oh, and this is a shape I like to do for the closed fist. Wait, what is it? Something like that. See, like this is where the knuckles would be, that's the thumb, and that's the thing. I don't know. I think it's a nice little shape. Can I make this into a person? Could be like some cool armor. I don't know what he's got there in his hands, but it's intriguing. Alright, cool. So then we've got, the upper leg, which is going to be for a more muscular character. The thighs are thicker like that. Little knee area. And I don't really put an elbow area, I just kind of connect them. I don't know, that's just me. But I do put a knee area, and then drumstick shaped foot. Oops, I ran into his foot. So let's move this foot back here. Maybe he's, there's like a box here. Alright, cool. I'm going to fill out this whole thing. I'm going to do it. Oh, you guys better be drawing along. Oh, no. I was supposed to say at the beginning that you have to draw along and be like kind of a jerk about it. You gotta draw along, guys. It's really super important. Or else I just feel like a nerd just sitting here drawing by myself. No. No. That's not cool, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see some more like kung fu poses. Oh man, I always do like the one-footed one. I can't believe I didn't bust out a one-footer. You know this guy? Oops. I'm getting nervous now that I have to stick it in this little area. Oh well. I've done better kung fu, guys. I don't care if you don't believe me. Alright, come on, you gotta believe me. Seriously though. I've done better kung fu, guys. What is this? So he's like standing on like a rock. There's a rock here or something. And then how can I get him to fit in this area? Oh man. This guy is abnormally flexible. And then the other arm's down here. Oh yeah, why don't I ever make the arms cross the body? Oh my gosh. Alright, I have to do that for these next ones. So actually, let me start with the arm. Oh, that's probably why. Because I start with the body. And then by the time I get to the arm... it's already... I don't want it to, I don't want to draw over the other one. It's a little weird. But that's cool, whatever. Alright, I think we got room for like 3 more. Let's just finish them off. And then we shall have achieved a great victory. Hello, honey. Alright. Alright. My wife's being very distracting. So that's why I stopped talking. Anyways, very silly, honey. Alright, so what else could I say? What else can I say? I don't know. That's it, I think. I'm gonna draw this last one though. And then I'm gonna make sure it fills up this whole area. So this guy's got some crazy Jean-Claude Van Damme splits. Boom. That's how we do it. Peace, God bless, and stay fantastic, everyone. Sketch-O-Rama.